My name's Daniel Bushell. The White House concerned about war crimes prosecution. Coming up.
Lawyers file for Barack Obama's arrest.
Tomorrow, when Obama lands in South Africa, lawyers have filed for his arrest for genocide. The country that went through apartheid, attack on ethnic groups classed as inferior, charges the Obama administration's now doing the exact same thing. Indiscriminate confinement of Muslims without charge and targeted drone attacks on Muslim civilian populations around the globe. They charge worse than apartheid, in fact, constitutes genocide. The Muslim Lawyers Association brought the claim to prosecutors with attorney Yusha Tayyab. He joins us. It's great to have you on. Obama now expanding the war on terror to a war on whistleblowers and using drones over US soil. You note, as with apartheid, discrimination is spiraling out of control.
It's a history that our people know, and so it's something we can identify with, and that is particularly pertinent to the South African community because, as you know, pre-94 we had extensive detention without trial in this country, and the comparative to the South African public is you didn't condone it then, why must you allow it to happen on an international basis now? And so this is a genocide, a torture, a perpetuated campaign against people of the Muslim faith. One of the judges in a Pakistani High Court judgment that we've attached to our complaint has declared the drone attacks to be illegal and has asked the UN to investigate it. He seems to want to joke about the drone attacks. He's recorded as having said at one of his balls held in the US that if any person's had designs on his daughters, he's got predator drones.
But boys don't get any ideas. I have two words for you. Predator drones. You will never see it coming. You think I'm joking?
At last week's G8 in Ireland, MP Claire Daly says corporate media should stop pretending Obama's anything but a war criminal.
By any serious examination, this man is a war criminal. He has just announced his decision to supply arms to the Syrian opposition, including the jihadists, fueling the destabilisation of that region and continuing to undermine secularism and knock back conditions for women. And to hell with the thousands more who lose their lives, or the tens of thousands more who will be displaced as this war goes on. This is the man who has facilitated a 200% increase in the use of drones, which have killed thousands of people, including hundreds of children.
Transparency and the rule of law will be the touchstones of this presidency.
His administration, the Washington Post says, has in fact been the most secretive since Nixon, classifying 92 million documents a year. That's even more than Bush. Disastrous wars American people are waging in their name and funding and don't even know about. Thanks a lot for joining us. Tell us about those wars and why have they been a disaster?
What people don't realize is that there's been a war for 4 years. They fought a war down through Sudan and Ethiopia and into Somalia. And then they tell us in the news that there's been a terrible drought and 250,000 people have died. When in fact what had happened is that all the food supply and all the water supply was basically wiped out. And so they're left to die in the desert because now they're going and developing the oil fields in this new country created South Sudan. And then when it comes to war crimes using weapons of mass destruction. I mean, the depleted uranium-lined Hellfire missiles, and this is a fact, they're fired from Predator and Reaper drones. They deliver at least 10 kilograms of depleted uranium, which permanently contaminates the target areas. So when you go back in there, you're guaranteed, if you spend too much time, to get some form of horrific cancer that will kill you between 10 and 15 years. That's how poisonous this stuff is. And we've got a lot of our soldiers around this stuff that are dying, but they don't talk a lot about it. It's like our generation's Agent Orange. I call him Obama the Odious. Then you've also got the secret kill list by Obama. You've got the legal wars in Libya and elsewhere. You've got he started the covert war in Yemen and basically deposed another leader in that country. You've got enormous mercenary presence in Iraq.
Sitting presidents are harder to stop. Lawyers say they may have to wait till Obama steps down. Bush and his officials are effectively prisoners in their own country, fearful of arrest if they travel abroad. For the victims of their crimes, that's not punishment enough. This is The Truth Seeker.